Diamante.
And now tonight's starting lineup for the Hawks at forward, number 32, 6'11" from Duke, Christian Laettner. And forward, number 33, 6'6" from DePaul, Tyrone Corbin. At guard, number 8, 6'8" from Michigan State, Steve Smith. At guard, number 10, 6'1" from Oklahoma, Mookie Blaylock. And at center, number 55, 7'2" from Georgetown, Dikembe Mutombo. The head coach of the Hawks is Lenny Wilkins. The assistant coaches, Dick Helm, Bill Hanslick, and Stan Albeck. The trainer is Joe O'Toole.
For Miami, and your starting lineups brought to you as always by Southwest Airlines. The backcourt matchups will be decisive tonight.
The point guards, Eric, both wearing number 10, Hardaway and Blaylock. In the preseason, I think Hardaway surprised Blaylock with the intensity of his defense. So this is a real battle. Both guys go hard at each other.
Miami Heat swept a pair of preseason games from the Hawks to finish out the postseason, 87-81 at Atlanta, 105-82 here last Saturday night. But it all begins for real tonight, so forget the Heat's 5-1 preseason or the Hawks' 5-3 start in the preseason. Alonzo Mourning's Heat, Dikembe Mutombo's Atlanta Hawks, two teams that figure very much in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. And one thing that's important to Miami is you look at Kurt Thomas. Can he stay out of early foul trouble? Pat Riley vows he will let him play through it, but the Heat a better team when Thomas is on the floor.
Thomas is an excellent defender. If he can avoid the careless fouls or the unnecessary fouls where he reaches trying to help his teammates, but he's a solid defender. I rate him as one of the best big man defenders for forwards in the league.
And you saw our officiating crew, Dr. Jack. We are like rockets on the launching pad, ready for liftoff. Looking forward to a great year sitting alongside.
It's always exciting, Eric. Opening game, never fail to get those butterflies in my stomach, even as a television analyst.
And the NBA season begins here in Miami. And the Heat will go to work offensively. And the first foul tonight, a reach-in on one-time Heat swingman Tyrone Corbin, who has won the job as Atlanta's starting small forward. He's been on 8 different teams twice in his career, has played for Lenny Wilkins.
Eric, another critical matchup is this one right here, Danilovic and Steve Smith.
In the zone, and we get a body flying and a jump ball. Well, this injury report is brought to you by HIP Health Plan. Farmer, Mursep, and Scott all on the injured list. Askins and Grant, who missed considerable time in the preseason, are back and active, ready to go tonight.
Yeah, trainer Ron Kolk says both Askins and Grant are ready for full-time duty.
Mookie Blaylock, one of the best ball thieves in the NBA, tied up Zoe. They'll jump it up at the Heat end, easily controlled by Alonzo. A fresh shot clock for the Heat as they go back to work. Thomas pulls up. Loose ball batted out to Danilovic. Marley for 3.
Oh boy. Dan Marley getting a start. That will do worlds of good for his confidence.
A man who hit just 7 of 30 from three-point land in the preseason. Nice to see Thunder Dan knock down his first official Heat shot. Steve Smith got the step with a left. Gets Atlanta's score on the board.
Well executed. Steve Smith curled off the low post screen and got a ball right in the paint. That's unusual for a Heat player to give that kind of shooting opportunity.
Steve Smith coming off his best season in the NBA a year ago with Atlanta, average 18 a game. Thomas, book it.
Another well-executed play, and Kurt Thomas knocking down the perimeter shot. 1 out of 2 for Kurt. He's a good shooter from that distance.
Thomas fronting Leitner in the low post. So over to help out.
Yeah, it's nice help by Mourning.
Smith, nice fake from the wing. Hardaway tips it back to Thomas. 1:30 in, the Heat leading by 3. Nice hit for Zoe, and the hook rolled off.
We talked about beating Mutombo down the floor. They didn't quite beat him, but Zoe got great position that time. Couldn't get it to fall.
Beautiful crossover by Blaylock. Mourning knocked it away. Here come the Heat running 4-on-1. Hardaway. Zoe with a flush.
Excellent play by Hardaway, who throws Mutombo to him and then gave off an easy scoring pass to the big guy. Zoe with the stuffer.
That's what you hope for if you're a Heat fan. Defense turning in the transition offense. Here we go again. Thomas has help, but Mookie Blaylock got back for the steal.
What a great read by Mookie.
Tyrone Corbin with the Hawks trailing by 5. Leitner, little 10-foot pop. That's his first bucket. And Marley waits for his teammates to come down. Zoe sets the screen. Hardaway for 3. Well, 2 triples here in the early moments, and the Heat off and gunning, lead it by 6.
As we talked about the keys of the game, and Lenny Wilkins doesn't like the direction of this. Keys to the game: knock down those perimeter shots and get fast breaks. The Heat have gotten both of them in the early going here. Let's watch the Heat. There's a good steal. Alonzo Mourning created that. Ball goes off to Hardaway. Now watch him as he gets to Mutombo. Gets him up in the air, gives it off, and Zoe with the one-hand slammer. Heat off and running.
And your news from the front office brought to you by Office Depot. For the first time in Heat history, every game will be televised, and most of those right here on Sunshine Network. Our pleasure to have them for you as we welcome you back to our house. You know what, Jack? Now that we're back, it's as if we never left.
The season tends to do that to you, Eric. There's so much going on year-round in the NBA.
Ball deflected, nearly stolen by Hardaway. Shot clock at 8. Hardaway with another hand on it. 2 very feisty defensive clubs going right at it here in the opener.
There's not a team that goes after shooters and recovers and helps each other the way the Miami Heat does.
7 on the shot clock as you see it wind down for the Hawks. Steve Smith, short, Mutombo on the tip twice, and Kurt Thomas able to capture the Heat rebound. So, look at him go.
Look at him go is right, Eric. And that time 2 steps ahead of big Dikembe, and got all the way to the hoop with it.
Nice assist from Sasha Danilovic. The Heat have made 5 of their first 7 baskets, and the fast break game looking good. Blaylock from the wing, short. It bounces back to Mookie. Leitner for Dikembe, going up, down for the dunk.
Opportunistic field goal opportunity for the Hawks. They will get plays like that. They don't give up on anything.
Kurt Thomas backing his way into the lane. Smith backs off Sasha. Danilovic, nice handoff. Oh my.
Indeed, there's another opportunity where they got to the basket, made Mutombo come after the shooter, and then the shooter laid off for an easy one right at the hoop.
Alonzo with 6 points. His last 2 directly set up by Danilovic. Mutombo steps. Kurt Thomas in front, Alonzo behind. They force Mutombo into the turnover.
Excellent defense, but let's go back a couple of plays. This is Danilovic with the ball, and there's Mutombo chasing Alonzo Mourning and failing to catch the big guy.
Danilovic already with 3 Heat assists. Miami up by 8, 7:35 left here in what has been a nice first quarter for Miami. Shot clock winds down. Hardaway to Zoe at the top. Gotta hurry. And this one comes down to Christian Leitner, who had to play center much of the year for the Hawks a year ago and through much of his career with Minnesota before coming to Atlanta. Danilovic pushing Smith out of the lane, the first Heat foul of the year.
Very light contact, which officials will call, especially early season. Keep a lid on all the physical contact
Blaylock trying to split the double, threw it away to Kurt Thomas. The Heat have the numbers again. 4-on-1 if they hurry. So with a lay-in. And Alonzo Mourning thriving off Miami's running game.
Yes, and Tim Hardaway making good judgments. When your big guy's out on the break, make sure he gets the ball. Don't have him run the floor without a reward at the end.
The Heat have opened up a 10-point first quarter lead through their defense and their fast break. Laettner barrels in, and he rolls it in. Christian Laettner's second field goal.
Yeah, Laettner can put it on the floor. He has a complete game. We've seen him shoot the jumper. We've seen him drive to the hoop.
Long one for Hardaway. It rims off to Dikembe Mutombo. Alonzo Mourning with 8 points for Miami. Danilovic and Hardaway each with 3 assists. You see Thomas playing in front of Laettner. The lob comes in, and Laettner converts. 3 hoops, 6 here in the first quarter for Christian Laettner.
Well executed by Laettner, who not only got the ball over the top against Thomas, but he eluded Mourning as he came over to help.
Christian hasn't missed yet. 2 Georgetown alums, teammates for 3 years, going right at it. Zoe against Mutombo, and Zoe picks up the foul. And it will be on Corbin. That's his second timeout to Miami. Halfway through this first quarter, the Heat lead it by 6.
Watching Miami Heat basketball on Sunshine Network. Brought to you in part by your local Florida Jeep and Eagle dealers. By Norwegian Cruise Line, the official cruise line of the Miami Heat. And by your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. If you haven't driven a Chevrolet today, you haven't driven today's Chevrolet.
And welcome back to opening night here in the NBA in Miami. The Heat off nicely, leading at 16-10. Alonzo Mourning already with 8 for Miami. Christian Laettner hasn't missed yet for the Hawks. In the Zoe, that's the new move. The turnaround baseline jumper. And Alonzo Mourning first to hit double figures with 10. He's hit 5 of his 7 shots.
Quick release by Zoe. Mourning got the shot off with Mutombo 2 feet on the floor when the ball was released.
Kenny Norman in the lineup for Atlanta, replacing Corbin, who sits down with 2 fouls. And Christian Laettner has just picked up his first for setting an illegal screen. And Jack, we should mention, Lenny Wilkins shorthanded tonight. He doesn't have his best big man off the bench available. Alan Henderson home with the flu.
I think that's a big factor opposed to what Lenny would like to do in his defensive game, especially. Henderson, a very nice player off the bench.
Marley squares, fires, and the rebound down to Laettner. Hawks have already turned it over 5 times. The Heat with just 1 turnover here in the first quarter. Blaylock using the Mutombo screen. Kenny Norman, who was in the doghouse a year ago, barely played. He's in their rotation this year. Mutombo with a right-hand stuffer. His second score, and the Hawks down by 6.
Mutombo got that ball over the top against Thomas, who had to come and defend him from the weak side.
Kurt Thomas on the high post. Danilovic has the step and is hammered down by Steve Smith, who is trailing the play. His first foul, the 4th on Atlanta.
Smart play by Sasha. He knew Steve Smith was behind him, couldn't stop the shot. Take a look at it. Danilovic curling off, getting the ball. Smith in the air. You can kind of sense that, even though you don't see it. You know you're in good shooting position, and the defender will have to foul if he's going to stop your scoring opportunity.
Jack, Sasha Danilovic outstanding in the preseason. He shot 57% from the field, but Pat Riley talking most about his improved defensive work.
Yeah, see, well, everybody coming into the NBA has to get a real sense of what that defensive game is about. Sasha has worked hard on it and has accomplished a great deal.
Now Kenny Norman in the far right corner. The 10-year veteran dumps it in the Mutombo. The former Denver Nugget again called for steps. His second traveling violation and the 6th turnover on Atlanta here in the first quarter.
Well, Dikembe isn't sure why that was called. I couldn't see his feet from here, Eric. Officials are very quick to call traveling on postmen as they make back to the basket moves.
He led by as much as 10 earlier here in the first. Tim Hardaway left free for a moment by Blaylock, who recovers. Zoe on the go, comes baseline, and he is called for steps.
I can see that's one of those moves. Let's see if we can pick up the now.
Was it or was it not?
Well, the ball, it depends on whether the ball is out of his hands or not, Eric. His right foot was his pivot foot. Now, before you can move that pivot foot, the ball must be out of your hands. That was very close.
4 minutes left here in this first quarter. Miami leading at 20-12. Leitner,
Great
nice
pass.
one bounce for Blaylock, who missed the lay-in, but how about that for a follow-up finish? The dunk from Dikembe. He has 6 first quarter points.
But that's what Christian Leitner can do. Backdoor pass, perfect.
Kurt Thomas. Oh my, denied by Dikembe Mutombo. 3-time shot blocking champ in the NBA consecutively. Matter of fact, Mutombo blocked more shots on his own last year than the Hawks did as a team. And Steve Smith called for well, first Bob Delaney said he carried it, then he signaled to travel. Either way, it's Atlanta's 7th turnover.
Kurt Thomas hard to the basket. Mutombo getting a piece of that ball. No complaint from Thomas, so it must have been a clean block.
Well, Mutombo erupting, but Kurt Thomas taking it right at him. Ball thrown away. Here comes Atlanta. Kenny Norman. Hardaway cut him off nicely. Blaylock circles back out. Just over 3 minutes left in the first. The Heat by 6. Blaylock driving on Sasha. Nice pass through the traffic for Leitner. And Mutombo over the back of Alonzo Mourning. And that will be the first on Dikembe Mutombo. And we get a timeout. This one to the Hawks. Just under 3 left in this first quarter. The dogfight just beginning. Morning with half of Miami's total of 20. The Heat by 6 as we wind down here in the first quarter of opening night. And Miami Heat single game tickets are on sale now. Tickets for Heat home games here at the arena available by visiting the Miami Arena box office Monday through Friday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. or by calling Ticketmaster or through the Heat's business office at 305-577-4328. Those are your Ticketmaster numbers. We hope you will feel the heat here at Miami Arena. One problem early for the Heat. They've been out rebounded 8-4, but a lot to like so far about Miami's aggressive first quarter.
The defense has done a great job. Forced 7 turnovers, an uncommon number for the Atlanta Hawks, who will, during the season, turn it over 14 or 15 times a game. The Heat are running out. They're getting fast break opportunities. They're getting excellent execution. Only 1 turnover so far. 2 turnovers, I think, or 3 turnovers, and only 4 points given to the Atlanta Hawks.
P.J. Brown in the game for Miami. He sits Kurt Thomas down. Now Brown, the import from the New Jersey Nets, gets his first minutes. Danilovic double pumps and draws a second foul here in the first quarter on Steve Smith.
This is good play action, Eric. Sasha Danilovic coming over low post screens, getting a ball in the paint, taking it right past Steve Smith, and then drawing the contact. You see Mutombo waiting. If Sasha had taken one more dribble to the basket, Mutombo would have swatted that shot. But by taking it from about 10 feet, he draws the foul and keeps Mutombo at bay.
John Barry checking in, the 5th-year vet out of Georgia Tech. He sits Steve Smith down, and the Heat get a break as P.J. Brown tapped to the Danilovic back out. A 7-point Miami lead. Hardaway finds Sasha for 3. And it is knocked out of bounds by Kenny Norman, so Miami catches another mild break here late in the first quarter. Ken Norman, who played in very few games, career low 34 outings last year for these Hawks. Hardaway back to Alonzo from 18 feet out.
Good opportunity. Good opportunity. Mutombo playing well off Zoe, had a 16-foot jump shot.
That's an unforced turnover through the hands of John Barry. Now, Dikembe Mutombo noted most for his shot blocking, but tonight Mutombo has 6 points and 6 rebounds here in the first quarter.
And only 1 block, Eric.
Tim Hardaway has a first quarter 3 in the books already, and They get a whistle and an offensive foul on Alonzo Mourning for setting an illegal screen, and that becomes Alonzo's first personal foul. It comes with 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. He got off to a 10-point lead. It's 7 now. In the Kenny Norman, P.J. Brown to help out Dan Marley. Norman, one-time Los Angeles Clipper, up and under. Followed his own miss. Mutombo was stripped and fouled. So the Hawks really scrapping under both boards here in the first.
Good play by Kenny Norman, getting Dan Marley up and then stepping under to shoot a low banker off the glass. There goes Marley. There goes the shot. He shoots it over Zoe. Mutombo gets it up and gets the foul, and he's at the line for 2.
Foul was on P.J. Brown, and Dikembe fires a brick, which comes ricocheting back at him.
That was right out of the kiln, that brick.
Mutombo averaged 10 points, 10 rebounds a game in the preseason. As you welcome Keith Askins back to the scene for Miami. He missed the entire preseason with an ankle injury, but he is now the senior member of the Miami Heat. This is his 330th game, which is the 6th most in Heat history.
Coach Riley will have him defend Kenny Norman and move Marley into the backcourt where he can defend John Barry.
So Mutombo now has 7 points. The Heat leading by 6. Mourning goes to work and loses the basketball to Mookie Blaylock. Blaylock 4 years in a row better than 200 steals. John Barry draws double coverage. Marley takes it right away. Here comes Timmy Hardaway. Nobody going to get him.
Great play by Marley.
Well, the Heat have been at their best when their defense has turned in the sudden offense here in the first period. And John Barry had it knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Miami. Another chance for the Heat to run came a moment ago off Dan Marley's steal.
Watch Marley takes that ball right out of John Barry's hands, who has had a disaster so far in this game. And Hardaway for an easy one up court.
Isaac Austin in the game for the first time. He replaces Alonzo Mourning. Norman swings in and is called for an offensive foul. Kenny Norman using the right arm to hook the defender. That counts for Atlanta's 10th first quarter turnover.
This is so uncommon for a Lenny Wilkens coach team. He'll have a lot of fuel to go over these mistakes with his team at halftime. So they're trapping now.
Haskins, an open triple. Austin with the offensive board, and he is called for steps. Dikembe Mutombo has a way of making you shuffle your feet as you get ready to launch over the long wingspan of Mutombo.
Austin did the right thing by taking the ball at Mutombo, but he shuffled his feet in the process. One dribble would probably have gotten him and closed that gap and put him in a position where Mutombo wouldn't have been able to block the shot.
You saw Ivano Nubel a moment ago. Nubel checking in for Mutombo. He is a second-year man from Georgia Tech. Played in the CBA last year. Shot clock at 7. Leitner maneuvers in. Missed the reverse. And it comes down to Askins. And the Heat should get the last shot of the first quarter. Leading by 8. Tim Hardaway going to set it up. Austin sets the screen. Hardaway has to hurry. Yes!
Yes, sir. Tim Hardaway at the buzzer.
Icing on the first quarter cake for the Heat. Nice way to kick off the new season. Miami shoots 53%, holds the Hawks to 15 first quarter points, and through one, they lead it by 10. Back to Miami Arena, where the Heat lead the Hawks after one quarter of the season opener. 10-point Miami lead, their second 10-point lead here tonight. And your NBA League leaders brought to you by Publix Supermarkets. The categories where the Heat figured best. Field goal percentage defense, Miami leading the league a year ago. Pat Riley's first year in town. And once again, his team leads the league in what Dr. Jack considers your defensive indicator, field goal percentage against.
Yeah, and they're so strong in that department, Eric. When you watch Coach Riley work his players individually and as a team at training camp, you understand why they are so good year after year in that department. But this Atlanta team allowed only 37% shooting to their opponents in the preseason. That's 10 notches better. They were 47% last year. Attribute that entirely to the presence of Mutombo.
Back in that first quarter, Mookie Blaylock and Steve Smith, the offensive catalysts for the Hawks, combined to score just 2. Leitner had 6, Mutombo had 7, and Christian Leitner stays right on target. He's hit 4 of 6 for a team-high 8 points.
He's tough with the ball, Eric. He takes only high percentage shots, and he's very good at what he does.
Isaac Austin working against Ivano Newbill, both clubs with their second centers. Askins tees it up and buries a triple.
Good pass by Ike Austin, taking his time, finding the open man with a direct pass.
He'd have already buried 3 triples in this first half. They have their largest lead of the game at 11, and Keith Askins reaching in. So good to have Keith back. You know he's going to give you the defense and the intangibles, but now he gives you that long ball. He made a career-high 99 threes last season.
Well, he shot over 40%, Eric, from three-point range last year. That's a nice number.
And a hand check foul on Isaac Austin, the 4th-year veteran out of Arizona State, who makes his return to the NBA after 2 years out of the league, 1 in the CBA. Last year played in Turkey, but Austin transferring his hunger from the dinner table to the playing court. And another traveling violation. It has been a struggle for John Barry here in the first half since coming off Lenny Wilkins' bench.
And the delay of the game warning, which means if they delay the game another time, it's a technical foul. John Barry is having a tough time so far.
Tim Hardaway backing Blaylock into the lane, draws a double. Here's Austin from the wing. Shot it too heavy. Brown tried to bring it down, but it comes to John Barry. Lead for Leitner. Beautiful feed from John Barry, and Leitner, Atlanta's first to hit double digits with 10 first half points.
Maybe that will get John Barry going. He's a good passer and a good shooter, and normally a good ball handler. He's just gotten off to a tough start.
P.J. Brown's miss taken on the run by Blaylock. This is Barry, and that is an offensive foul. How about that? Tim Hardaway retreating quickly in a position to draw the charge.
Poor John Barry. Oh my. Here's a good fast break opportunity. Look at Hardaway. That's great position by Hardaway.
Miami defense. Tim Hardaway comes out of the game with 7 points and 4 assists. Gary Grant, the longtime LA Clipper, last year played for the Knicks. He runs the backup point guard spot for the Heat. P.J. Brown over the back of John Barry, trying to follow up the Marley miss. P.J. Brown hit with his second personal foul.
Good penetration by Marley, just the inability to finish. The Heat can take it to the hoop without Mutombo on the floor now, and they're trying to get that done, just didn't finish.
We are a couple of minutes into the second quarter. Miami leading the Hawks 28-19. Blaylock on a force, and in the crowd, Marley with a rebound. Thunder Dan, who played with the Cavaliers at Cleveland a year ago. Isaac Austin, the Heat's biggest surprise of the preseason, up under for the deuce.
Excellent play. Good footwork by Ike. Had looked for his cutters, found none, made the play by himself.
Second time the Heat have hit an 11-point lead here in the first half. First score of the regular season for Ike Austin. Lob in the Norman, turned away. Norman called for steps, and the turnovers continue to mount for Atlanta. 13 here in the first half, and still 9:20 left in the second quarter.
Let's go back and watch Isaac Austin. Looking, no cutters available. Moves his man, pump fakes him, makes body contact and gets it off the glass and down. That's a veteran type play for this guy who is drafted by the Utah Jazz in '91.
Played 2 years for Utah, a cameo with Philadelphia, then a 2-year hiatus out of the league. Alonzo Mourning is back in for P.J. Brown, so Zoe and Austin play together now. Nice feed out to Gary Grant for the corner jumper. That's something Ike Austin can do, hit the open man out of the post.
Yes, he can. He's a nice passer, Eric, and I'm glad to see Gary Grant knock that perimeter shot down.
The Heat with a 13-point lead here in the second quarter with just under 9 minutes left in it. Smith, well, he finessed his way in for a power move. Steve Smith, second scorer of the game.
He's very good at the low post, is Steve Smith. Tall, long arms, good footwork.
Gary Grant, he missed the final 4 preseason games with an ankle sprain. He flipped it back to Mourning, who recovered with 8 to shoot. So pulls the trigger and connects. Alonzo with a first half dozen. And the Heat again lead by 13.
See the difference. You can almost read the confidence in players with Mutombo not on the floor.
Kenny Norman cut off by Askins over the top. Taken back by Norman, put it on the floor and lost it out of bounds, but hit last by Miami. And with 8 minutes to go in the first half, Sasha Danilovic will come back. Dan Marley will sit down. Danny leaves with 3. Also had 2 assists.
Coach Riley getting a nice rotation of players, resting his starters, getting them back in without too long a time on the bench.
Oh my! Mourning spiked it right back at Smith. Here comes Grant on the crossover down the lane for Austin. Through the hands of Zoe for the Sasha 3. And Christian Laettner able to clear it. His 3rd rebound. This is Eldridge Rakasner. Played for the Rockets of Houston last year. Signed as a free agent by the Hawks. And Rakasner, a guy that started 27 games last year for Rudy T's Rockets. Smith blocked by Askins, but a foul on Keith. That's the 2nd on Keith, the 4th team foul on the Heat.
We talk a lot about Heat defense. Here comes the driver, Steve Smith. Alonzo Mourning, not tonight, Steve.
Now Smith will go to the line and shoot a pair. Atlanta has come back with Dikembe Mutombo. Steve Smith, Jackie, is really rounded in to be what Heat fans always knew he would be. A solid, reliable, everyday off guard who can also handle it very well. But he comes off his best season and got a brand new, beautiful contract to show for it.
Yes, and I think you named it well, Eric. An off guard who can play the point for short minutes. Not a point guard that he thought he was when he first came into the NBA. But a more complete player now. He's gotten bigger and stronger. He can shoot it outside. He can post you up, and a good passer.
Now timeout taken by Pat Riley's Heat with just over 7 minutes left. It's been a nice first half for the defensive-minded Heat. Lights are on. Regular season underway. It's all for real now as the Heat lead it by 11. They have not trailed here in the first half. And we remind you, the Bucks and the Heat, Friday night, November 8th. Good seats still available. And the first 10,000 fans in attendance will receive the 96-97 Heat magnetic schedule. Heat back in action tomorrow night at Indiana. We'll have that one for you, beginning with the 7 o'clock pregame show right here on Sunshine Network.
See the percentage numbers. Both teams shooting the ball pretty well.
Alonzo against Mutombo for the sweeping hook. Austin tipped it out to Askins. And that's Newbill that brought it down. So with 7 minutes left in the half, Hawks get it back down 11 points.
Good play by Ike Austin to tap that ball to the open Askins. Keith just couldn't knock down an 8-foot jumper.
Mutombo goes to work. Deep hook. And an easy rebound for Gary Grant. Ike Austin against Ivano Newbill. Ike playing very confidently and rolls in another jumper. Isaac Austin, a scoring force right from the get-go off the Heat bench.
With Mourning and Ike on the floor, you got 2 big guys, both of whom can post up. And Austin, a very good passer.
Boy, Austin, a big bonus for Miami as Smith goes barreling into Keith Askins. Those two used to battle regularly in Heat practices during Steve's 3 years as a member of the Heat. So they resume their personal war tonight, and Askins picks up his 3rd personal foul. Heat are over the limit.
When Keith Askins is on the floor, whoever he's guarding is in for a battle.
Not getting the first. Tyrone Corbin back for Atlanta. Ken Norman sits down. And Thunder Dan back, and Keith Askins will get a rest. Askins, of course, coming off that injured right ankle in the preseason.
Eric, I think we've seen right now what Coach Riley is going to use, at least in the early season, in his player rotation. He's going to have Austin up front. He's going to have Gary Grant and Askins
and B.J. Brown.
B.J. Brown. That's a nice 9-player rotation.
Danilovic behind the arc for a triple. Sasha Danilovic, his first field goal. He's got 6 points, and the Heat lead it by 15. Their biggest lead here in the first half.
Get Sasha pressure the ball.
And illegal defense against Miami, their first warning of the year. You know, Danilovic, who led the Yugoslavian team with 17 points a game to a silver in the Olympics, talked about the great defense his Yugoslavian teammates played and said he carried a lot of his Pat Riley teachings over to them.
Now, they will do that. The Europeans very receptive to everything that happens in the NBA.
Eldridge Rakasner being hounded by Gary Grant. That's the role the Heat want Grant to play. The veteran out of Michigan going to ride that ball end to end. But he picks up the foul.
If he can give Tim Hardaway 12 to 15 minutes rest a game, that would be terrific. And I think he's fully capable of doing that. You know, if we carry that European coaching by players another step further, Eric, Šarūnas Marčiulionis has done the same thing with the Lithuanian team and has brought all the NBA lore to those guys over there, and they've fastened onto it very well.
And Jack, when Sasha's Yugoslavian team eliminated Lithuania in the semifinals, the Yugoslavs felt their job was complete, advancing to the gold medal game. A great accomplishment for the Yugoslavian team.
Indeed.
Rakasner gets his first point of the game. The Heat lead is 14 with 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And a sharp first half so far for the home club. Austin pumps, grinds, and is stripped. And Mike Austin unhappy with the way this one will figure out because he's hit with a foul going after the ball, his second personal.
I thought he got raked, Eric, as he made his move into traffic. He got cracked. Let's see if we can see it. Watch this. Pump fake. Take it under.
I think Corbin got all ball.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll tell you what, Jack, that's a nice up and under move that Isaac Austin has. Well, Ike will come out of the game. Austin came up with some nice offensive work. 4 points in 8 minutes. And Kurt Thomas comes back. 33-year-old Tyrone Corbin getting his first points of the night. Tyrone played in 22 games with Miami last year, part of that 4-player deal in February involving Walt Williams, Billy Owens, and Kevin Gamble.
He's a very good reserve player, Eric, has always been throughout his career. Good free throw shooter, about 80% from the line during his career.
Miami up by a dozen with just over 5 minutes left in the half. So left alone on the drive. Got it, and the foul.
Oh, boy. Lonzo Mourning. He may have rolled his ankle, but what a drive to the basket against Mutombo. Taking it right at Dikembe. Let's take a look at this move. Blows by and gets the bump and loops in that soft left-hander. Another look at the same play. Mutombo retreating. Little bump, a chest bump. Mutombo wanted the fend off with the right arm, but didn't get the call.
Those two close teammates and friends, they spent much of their summer working out at Georgetown with one another, and Patrick Ewing and Othella Harrington. Mornings had the better of the matchup so far tonight with 15 first-half points. Mutombo has 7. An illegal screen set out of bounds by the Hawks. It goes back to Miami, and another turnover on Lenny Wilkins' ledger. Of course, Lenny, the all-time winningest coach in NBA history with 1,014. This the start of his 24th season as an NBA head coach.
The Hawks have now 14 turnovers, Eric. They have one more. It's now 14, but the Heat have only gotten 8 points from those. Great pass.
Kurt Thomas trying to skip it in. Instead, it skips out. Well, the Heat go back to defense. It's actually an offensive foul on Mourning, and that is number 2 on Zoe.
So ducking in and getting the call against Mutombo that time.
Gary Grant comes out. Tim Hardaway back for Miami, and Mookie Blaylock sits down Eldridge Rakasner for the Hawks. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. The Heat with a 15-point lead. Now Mutombo for the hook. Kurt Thomas boxing Leitner out. Leitner knocked it free and comes up with it, and we get a jump ball. Feisty Christian Leitner, his 5th year in the NBA, his first full season with Atlanta. Highly decorated player out of Duke, pair of NCAA titles, and Olympic gold in '92.
Heat should try and pilfer this tap. It should go back. And there it goes, but well tapped by Leitner.
Mookie Blaylock had 3 steals in the first quarter, but he's been pretty quiet so far. Knocks down the mid-range jumper for his first points of this game. The Heat lead is 13.
Good ball movement by Miami.
Kurt Thomas sets. Mutombo rips it down, his 8th rebound of the game. Smith over Marley. And it's tapped back to Zoe. Quick hitter
Great
for
pass
Thomas.
out.
Danilovic too low off a Hawk leg out of bounds.
Little too close to the feet was Kurt Thomas's pass, but nice defense and a great hit ahead by Tim Hardaway on that play. That's what you need to execute fast breaks. Get that ball out of the defensive zone.
3.5 minutes to go in this first half, and a reach-in foul on Mookie Blaylock. He picks up his first on the Hawks. That's only their 2nd team foul of the quarter.
His first, team second.
Last year, the Hawks won 46 times, 20 road wins. Fresh shot clock for Miami, operating with a 13-point lead. Hardaway from the top, down to Zoe. Draws the double.
Nice
Hardaway for 3. And the long rebound winds up with Kurt Thomas. Again, a fresh 24. Thunder Dan unloads.
Yes, sir.
His 2nd triple of the game.
Well, that's excellent ball movement by the Heat and good pursuit of the loose ball.
Gives Miami their biggest first half lead of the night at 16. Smith cannot move Marley, but a 2nd illegal defense call against the Heat, and that will allow Atlanta to shoot a technical foul with 2:55 left here in the 2nd quarter.
Now Mourning knew that he had been the violator, and he just didn't go after the double team quickly enough.
Lonzo Mourning with 15 first half points. Steve Smith hits the technical foul shot, and the Hawks now get their timeout, trailing by 15.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Miami Arena seeing a strong performance by their Heat. There's your score in time. Heat up by 15 and playing terrific first half defense. Dave Lamont here. I want to remind you of our halftime show coming up. We'll talk to the campaign manager of the Coalition for a Greater Miami, Steve Watson. Their campaign is to vote no on referendum 284, and the Miami Heat are talking about building a brand new arena. We'll talk more about that and get the details, particularly on today's dramatic announcement from Steve Watson. We'll take you around the NBA on a very busy opening night as the league kicks off its 50th year, and Eric and Jack will have the first half highlights. Right now, gentlemen, I say this first half has been mainly a highlight for the Heat.
Well, made to order for Miami, and there is Mickey Arison. You talk about an owner stepping up and coming up huge for his franchise and for the city that he loves most.
Well, Eric, let's hope it all turns out, but it looks like it's moving in that direction.
Back to hoops. We're happiest focusing in on this.
Trying to get to Leitner down low, and they've got him.
Leitner been Atlanta's best offensive weapon here in the first half, and that continues. Christian Leitner now has 12 points, and he's done it on very nice shooting. 6 of 8 from the field. Incidentally, Jack, Kurt Thomas has yet to pick up a foul.
Well, that's good news.
Quick hitter
Excellent
for
play.
Zoe. And the left
Play.
He comes up with the air ball, and here comes Mookie on his scooter. Back to Leitner, thought about a 3 and shuffled his feet. 15 first half turnovers for the Hawks.
Now Mourning got the ball right in the basket area. When you talk about the presence of Mutombo, who didn't go after the shot, but Zoe shot it quickly in order to get past him. Good shot blockers invite that kind of respect.
Hardaway on the kick out to Sasha. His triple bounces off. Mourning able to keep it in play. And Hardaway took his eye off it. And it rolls into the backcourt for a backcourt violation.
Now that's unfortunate. Great hustle by Mourning. And you're right, Eric. Tim Hardaway just took it for granted he had that ball. And you can never do that. You almost have to look it into your hands. Make sure you have that possession of the leather. So critical.
Can't do nothing without that leather. And at 50 to go in the half, Blaylock has it stripped and knocked out of bounds by Tim Hardaway. What a good point guard battle that is, as Hardaway tries to regain his all-star form.
That was good pursuit by Hardaway, because actually Blaylock had beaten him to the basket. He flicked it away from behind.
He contesting everything. Marley knocked that away. This is Smith on the turn. Sasha Danilovic wins the battle. Blaylock took it away from Thomas. Mookie Blaylock, the quickest hands in the East. A 3. And the rebound down to Kurt Thomas. His 4th rebound of the night.
Good outlet by Hardaway again.
Beautiful pass from Marley to Danilovic.
Basketball, Eric. Just what the doctor ordered.
15-point Heat lead. Miami has been tenacious on defense, cohesive on offense. Leitner bumps, fakes, and draws the foul.
Pretty good, Christian Laettner.
He's putting on a clinic here in the first half as Leitner. That's the first foul on Thomas.
Watch how quickly Tim Hardaway fires up court as the defenders converge on the ball. Marley by himself and Danilovic underneath. That's great awareness on the part of the offensive players. Hardaway and Thunderdam.
Those easy scores so helpful when you can get them, because when you've got to grind it out in the half-court possession after possession, that's what'll bog you right down.
And it reduces your score down into the sometimes into the 70s and gives everybody a chance to win the game. Get fast breaks, you open up that gap that enables you to win easily. Hawks are going to try and pressure the ball here.
Mutombo went to the bench. Kenny Norman steps in. Heat lead by 13. Leitner leading the way for Atlanta with 14. Mourning has 15 for Miami. Dan squares up.
Terrific play by Tim Hardaway. Dan Marley has his shooting shoes on tonight, I'll tell you.
Does he ever? He's buried 3 triples here in the first half. Has 9 points. And the Heat hit with another illegal defense call. But for the second time in this second quarter, the Heat have pumped their lead up to 16 points.
I watched Marley shoot before the game, Eric. He was shooting just as he is in the game tonight. And I was thinking to myself, save some of those.
Substitution in the game for the Heat, P.J. Brown in the game.
P.J. Brown, the versatile defender, comes in for Alonzo Mourning, who sits down with 15 points and 4 rebounds. 45 seconds to go in this second quarter. Been a positive first half for the Heat. They have not trailed in this game. Got to find a way to slow this man down. Leitner comes baseline, and Thomas hit with a foul. Pumps his fist into Stain, but it's his second personal. And Christian Leitner been a one-man force. He'll go to the line with 14 points.
Well, let's see if we can pick up a foul here. That's pretty good footwork. Kurt Thomas doesn't like any fouls called. Yeah, let's take another look at it. That's pretty good.
Hawks went to the foul line just twice in the first quarter, but they have made 11 of 13 of the stripe here in the second period.
This guy also a very good free thrower, Eric.
82% last year, 4 for 4 tonight. Now, Christian Leitner has been the story for the Hawks here in the first half with his 16 points. Thunder Dan barreling in. P.J. Brown fanning on the tip. Corbin hitting ahead for Blaylock. Hardaway came back to contest, but Smith there for the follow-in.
The Hawks taking advantage of that quick opportunity down the floor, and Steve Smith not assuming the shot was going to be made. A lot of players will do that.
Steve has 11. The Heat lead by 11. Hardaway a long three. Bullseye. Miami 7 triples here in the first half in 14 attempts, and the Hawks still looking for their first 3. And they will continue the search into the second half. Pretty positive showing for the new and improved Heat through one half. They lead it 53-39.
Good defense, run the ball, good perimeter shooting. You can't beat it, Eric. Been productive point-wise for the Heat. Actually, the Hawks have gotten 9 points out of the Heat's 11 turnovers. The Heat have only gotten 8 points out of 15 turnovers. But those other departments, when you hold your opponent to 42%, get the ball out, look at that three-point percentage, 50% from the field for the Heat. While they're not getting a lot of free throw opportunities, they haven't needed them so far in this game.
Lonzo Mourning at 15. Tim Hardaway had 10, and Christian Laettner led Atlanta with 16 points. Mutombo had 8 rebounds. And now your halftime highlights brought to you as well by Outback Steakhouse.
Okay, we talked about fast break. This is Sasha Danilovic with that little flip pass that he often throws as Mourning beat Mutombo down the floor by a couple of strides. Then another fast break opportunity. This time it's Dan Marley knocking the ball loose. He and P.J. Brown collaborate. Then it's a hit ahead to Tim Hardaway. So this time Timmy's the recipient of that fast break opportunity. The Hawks keep looking and keep working. This time is John Barry, who had some tough ball handling decisions to make in the first half. But he got that one to Laettner. And this time over the top. Mutombo with the catch, the stop, and the stuff.
And we are underway here in the second half. The Heat will go with Mourning, Thomas, and Marley up front. Hardaway and Danilovic in the backcourt. Smith, Laettner, Corbin, Blaylock, and Mutombo for Atlanta. And as Lenny Wilkins told us prior to the tip-off, his guards, the offensive catalyst. Blaylock 1 for 7 shooting, Jack. He does have 4 steals, but only 2 points for a guy that could either implode or explode, depending on the moment.
Well, that's been Mookie's history, Eric. He's not a consistent shooter. He shot 40% last year from the field. And while he steals balls, and he's a streak shooter, so you never relax against Mookie Blaylock.
Well, the Heat looking to set a tone on their home floor, and that would be nice to begin with a home court win as the Hawks isolate Laettner against Thomas. Laettner over the top, and he has been a torrid performer tonight. 18 points, 7 of 9 shooting.
He is tough. He was well defended by Kurt Thomas, but he takes that turnaround jumper and sticks it in your face and usually knocks it down.
Laettner averaged 18 a game as a rookie with Minnesota, and another travel on Mourning. Jack, turnovers, the biggest blemish in his game. He's got 6 in this one, and I know that's something he's got to control.
Yeah, he has to do that. Both his footwork and his passes from the double team. What he's doing, Eric, he is turning, facing his opponent, and then using his pivot foot as his first step.
Blaylock had it poked away, and here comes Dan Marley. Thomas on the run, blew by Laettner, but was erased by Mutombo. Just the second block for Dikembe here in the ball game. First minute of the third quarter. Hawks down a dozen. Smith pulls up over Danilovic for the deuce. 13 now for Steve.
Danilovic right in his shorts.
Well, the Hawks are stirring. They were down by 16 last minute of the second. They are within 10 here in the first 2 minutes of the third. Danilovic on the run, out to Marley. Bullseye. Dan Marley is hit 4 of 5 from downtown.
Thunder Dan is rumbling tonight, folks.
Dan Marley has a dozen. The Heat have 8 triples in the game. And a 13-point lead. Corbin on the turnaround for 2. Tyrone Corbin's first field goal. He does have 4 points.
The Hawks trying to get whomever Danilovic defends, take him down low and shoot over him. Smith did it, and then Corbin did it.
And Marley, who had made just 7 threes in the preseason, with 4 threes in his opening game. Morning, he knocked down a line drive from the wing. He has 17.
Well, they're taking away his drive to the basket, watching his footwork. So Zoe just dresses up the jumper and knocks it down.
Lead again by 13. Smith out to Laettner. Boy, Laettner can keep you off balance with a very balanced game. Christian Laettner with a 20-point game here in the opener, and he has knocked in 8 of his 10 field goal attempts.
Yes, he's operating to near maximum efficiency is Laettner tonight.
Thomas, 15 feet out for the deuce. Just the second score tonight for Kurt, who has been outplayed by Laettner. The advantage the Heat have, they can go to P.J. Brown off the bench for defense. Smith on the floor for the runner. Thomas came over to bother the shot. 3 on 2 if they hurry. Danilovic all the way.
Great play by Tim Hardaway. Nice outlet to Hardaway. Got it started in the backcourt. Well executed. Heat running the floor very well tonight.
Danilovic and Hardaway each with 10 points. Timmy Hardaway with 9 assists. Heat back to a 15-point lead. And off the hands of Dan Marley, Atlanta will keep just 7 seconds left on the 24.
Let's watch Christian Laettner in the open court and get his opportunity here. A little pump fake, turn, pump again, shoot that leaner, get nothing but net.
Hawks have to hurry. Shot clock down to 4. Smith trying to get by Marley, runs in the morning, and that should not count. Now let's see what Bob Delaney calls. He calls it against Alonzo Mourning. So not only does the bucket come before the shot clock, but a 3-point chance for Steve Smith.
It looked as if Delaney had called a fend off by Smith. But let's watch the play again. There goes Steve Smith.
Was a fend off.
Just throw that left arm.
Alonzo Mourning out hustles Mutombo to the rebound. Tim Hardaway heading toward his first double-double of the year. Zoe, bullseye. Alonzo Mourning, he's been on target. He's got 19 points, and Hardaway does get his 10th assist. The Heat by 15, a little more than 8 minutes left in the third. Laettner quickly into the paint for the bucket and the foul. And Christian Laettner clearly with the upper hand in his matchup against Kurt Thomas.
Laettner's having a huge game, Eric.
A 22-point game in the works for Laettner. Here's your Cruise to the Hoop, brought to you by Norwegian Cruise Line.
Christian Laettner showing that ball, getting into the defense, and finishing with the left hand, cruising right to the hoop.
Christian Laettner acquired last February by Atlanta for Spud Webb and Andrew Lang. And the night Laettner debuts here in his 5th season, he's got 23 points. By a dozen. This is Kurt Thomas. Laettner got a piece, and Blaylock gets all of it. Kurt Thomas struggling through this opening game so far. Marley has switched on to Blaylock. Thomas knocked that away from Laettner and got a piece of Christian in the facial area, but no foul called. And Laettner to the floor.
I think Laettner may have gotten hit in the eye. Let's take a look, see if we can see it. Laettner's going to come in. Thomas swipes at the ball. I didn't see him get hit. Another look at it.
Kurt Thomas may have cut himself. He's into the Heat dressing room with Ron Culp. So P.J. Brown checks in for Miami as Kurt Thomas is back in the Heat dressing room. 5 on the shot clock for Atlanta. They trail by a dozen. Marley got a piece of the Smith three. Mutombo fouled on what would have been a dunk. A good foul by Tim Hardaway. And just the first foul on Tim Hardaway.
His first, team's third.
Third team foul on Miami with 7:20 left in the third quarter. Big Dikembe Mutombo to the free throw line with 7 points, 8 rebounds.
As always in an NBA game, don't concede anything. Don't assume anything until these 48 minutes have been played. The Hawks have crept right back in here, trailing now by 10.
But Jack, they've outscored Miami at the foul line 16-4 and have outshot the Heat at the stripe 20-5. Mourning for the hook. It sticks. Alonzo Mourning, 6 in the quarter, 21 on the night.
If you took away Zoe's turnovers due to his ball handling, he's operated very effectively against Mutombo down low.
Tyrone Corbin from downtown. Hardaway chases it down, but out of bounds. Off Atlanta, the Heat do get it back, leading by a dozen, and a timeout to Miami nearly halfway through the third quarter of opening night.
Watching Miami Heat basketball on Sunshine Network. Brought to you in part by Office Depot. Taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day. By AirTouch Paging, the official pager of Sunshine Network. By Discount Auto Parts. Go with the pros you know at Discount Auto Parts. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Let's take a look at this collision between Laettner and Kurt Thomas. There's the head banging. One guy banged the other. Laettner leaning in, cracked Thomas and opened up a cut. Christian didn't get cut.
Yes, the noggin knocker has Thomas in the Heat dressing room with a bloody nose and a gash above his left eye, which is requiring stitches. 6.5 minutes left, third quarter. Reed and Ramsey welcoming you back into the Heat's house, where the Heat have led it right from the start. Zoe had to force it up with a shot clock winding down.
Pretty good defense by Laettner on that particular time.
Christian Laettner's been the story tonight with 23 points for the Hawks. Blaylock, he can heat it up in a hurry. Just his second score of the game, but it counts for 3. And the Hawks are now within 9. They had trailed by 16 late in the second quarter.
That was their first three-pointer made, Eric.
Danilovic on the turn, spun out to Dikembe Mutombo, who now has 11 rebounds. The Hawks turn it over in the backcourt. And the turnovers have been a detriment to Atlanta here on opening night. 17 for Lenny Wilkins' group.
Mookie Blaylock signaled to Mutombo, my fault on that errant pass.
He'd have scored, oddly enough, just 8 points off the 17 Atlanta turnovers. Dan Marley, he's had the hot hand from behind that stripe. 4 of 5. Hardaway, a deep 3. Way off the mark, taken off the floor by Laettner. The Hawks down by 9, a chance to creep closer. And the Mutombo with 7 left on the 24. Blaylock flings it up. And Dan Marley pursues it, just his second rebound. Timmy behind his back to the paint. Zoe comes crashing in and draws a foul. And it is on Christian Laettner, his second of the game.
Christian Laettner, his second.
Let's take a look at that play. Watch Hardaway get into the paint, draw the big guy. Here comes Mourning into your living room. But he gets raked before he gets there. He's at the line for 2.
You see the numbers from the free throw stripe favoring Atlanta. And Riley, one of his concerns, I think, about this team that he has is the free throw shooting. Alonzo Mourning hit just 69% at the stripe a year ago, but Jack in the preseason made 25 of 29, 86% foul shooting.
Yes, that last year figure is not typical of what Zoe does at the line. He's a better free thrower than that.
He is 3 for 3 in the night's game. And the Heat back in front by double figures with just under 5 to go in the third quarter. Be with us tomorrow night here on Sunshine. The Heat and the Indiana Pacers beginning with a 7 o'clock pregame. And a push on Mourning 30 feet away. That's number 4 on Alonzo Mourning. Tough place for him to pick up his 4th foul. And that's team foul number 4 on the Heat. Isaac Austin will be summoned off the Heat bench quickly.
Let's watch this. Yes, he stuck the hand, the left hand first before he got the right forearm on him. You're right, Zoe. Your right forearm was in place, but you got him with the left hand first.
Zoe sits with 23 points and 6 rebounds. And the give and go just went right by Laettner. So the turnover is Atlanta's 18th. We'll see what happens now that Zoe sits down with 4 fouls.
That was the Heat's 12th that we saw.
Hardaway for 3.
Well, the perimeter shooting for the Heat tonight has been just excellent.
Now shooting it up top has put the Heat over the top tonight. 9 triples made for Miami. Laettner cut off at the pass. Austin there for the rebound. Rev it up. Here comes Hardaway. Hawk defense ran at Marley. Under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. The Heat by 14. Shot clock at 8. Marley finds Sasha. Another 3 airborne.
Great hustle.
P.J. Brown took it away from Steve Smith. Inside, this is Ike. Missed the hook short. Corbin outlets for Blaylock. 3.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Corbin had it rejected by Brown, but a goaltend.
Nice pass by Mookie Blaylock right off the dribble. Little flip pass. Watch Mookie on the dribble. Bullet. Tyrone Corbin gets the benefit of the goaltending call against P.J. Brown.
Heat by a dozen. Danilovic comes baseline, and Laettner sweeps it away out of bounds. He'll have 9 seconds in which to get a shot off, leading at 71 to 59. 3:11 left here in the third quarter. Heat playing with Alonzo Mourning on the bench with 4 fouls. Thomas in the locker room getting stitches. Austin short. Laettner boxing out for his 5th rebound. The Hawks trying to make another run back. They have never seen the lead in this game. He got off to a 16-6 lead in the first quarter. Smith over the top of Marley. Good defense. Austin shovels it out to Danilovic. Sasha lost the handle to Corbin.
Got poked from behind.
Blaylock hitting ahead for Smith. Steve comes baseline. P.J. Brown cut him off, but commits the foul. Third on P.J. Brown. 2:34 left in the third. The Hawks trying to make some comeback noise.
Handler right now with Alonzo Mourning in foul trouble, and Kurt Thomas in the locker room receiving some stitches, still leading the Atlanta Hawks by a dozen. I'm Dave Lamont with the owner of the Miami Heat, Mickey Arison. You've only got a few more days now before this critical waterfront vote. Today you make a dramatic announcement and you form kind of an alliance with Alex Pinellas. How do you feel about your chances going into Tuesday?
Well, we feel very good. We just have to make sure that people don't think that this thing is over. We still need people to get out and vote no if they want to see this arena built in the waterfront. And we worked very hard to put a deal together with Alex, and the mayor did a great job. His team did a great job, and Jay Cross and our team also worked very hard to get this done. But it's important to understand that all of it means nothing if we don't get people out to vote no on Tuesday.
Best of luck on that issue, Mickey.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you, Dave. And Mickey Arison referring to the referendum vote. If you want to see the waterfront and the new arena develop, vote no on 284 on Tuesday. Steve Smith got 2 at the stripe. Marley missing heavy on a 3. P.J. Brown going to work. And Blaylock in traffic for a rebound, hitting ahead for Smith. Oh, he missed the hammer dunk up and over the top. Could have cut the lead to 8.
That's a critical miss by Steve Smith, who hears it from the crowd, but he had one all by himself, and in his exuberance to ram it home, had the ball go over the shot clock.
More than personally embarrassing, costly to his team, who could have sliced the Heat lead to 8. Instead, it stays at 10 with 2 to play in the third. P.J. Brown stripped by Laettner, foul from behind by Smith. How'd you like that pass in the PJ from Tim Hardaway?
Tim Hardaway has been a master with the ball tonight. He has 10 assists and only 1 turnover. Here's Brown trying to take it up. Laettner with the good hands, and then Smith on the crack from behind.
He'd have gone cold, making just 1 of their last 10 from the field, and PJ will shoot for his first Miami points. By the way, our veteran statistician working with us for a 9th consecutive year, Steve LeBeau, and the numbers just keep getting better, Elbow.
PJ has developed into a very consistent free throw shooter. 77% last year. Missed the second of those, however.
Well, the Heat lead 11. We wind down here in the third quarter. Opening ninth, flying right by. And this will be an over-the-back foul on P.J. Brown. Christian Laettner getting all sorts of Heat defenders in foul trouble. Kurt Thomas is back out on the bench with that gash above the left eye stitched and repaired. That's the 4th foul on P.J. Brown.
Let's take a look with the overhead camera. There are the 2 players. Smith curls off. That leaves Laettner at the low post. And PJ was hoping for a turnover, instead got the personal foul instead.
Well, the Hawks foul shooting has been a real asset to them. 19 for 23 for Atlanta at the line. P.J. Brown goes to the bench for Miami, leaves with a point, 3 boards, and 4 fouls. Kurt Thomas is back. And Laettner now has 25 for Atlanta. Christian Laettner starting his 5th season very well.
The Hawks look as if they're going to zone trap you, but it's just a sham. They're just trying to make you use time.
Atlanta's down by 9. Askins in the Thomas. Back to Askins, and denied by Ivano Newbill, who got away with a walk as he saved it in for Smith, and the Hawks making their most serious run back into this game. Hardaway reaches in, came up with a steal, and Christian Laettner picked up the foul, his 3rd. So just as Atlanta was ready to hammer 2 more down Miami's throats in this comeback, Tim Hardaway stands up and makes the stop.
Gets the foul. Let's take a look at the play. Laettner puts this ball on the floor. That little pump, and then driving it. Hardaway knocks it loose, and then Laettner takes the foul to prevent the Heat fast break, but Hardaway's at the line for 2.
Tim Hardaway, who led all NBA players through the preseason in assists, starting as we expected he would very well. He's been sharp tonight. He's let the game come to him. 14 points, 10 assists, just the 1 turnover. John Barry is in for Atlanta. Steve Smith goes to the bench. Smith with 17 for Atlanta tonight.
I liked what Tim Hardaway said to Dave Lamont before the game started about they don't have to worry about offense. They just have to come out and play. They're well drilled at both ends of the floor by Coach Riley. He said, now let it all happen. That's what the Heat have done pretty well tonight.
Hardaway with 15. The Heat lead at 11. Minute to go, 3rd quarter. Blaylock over Thomas. Air ball. Austin battles. Out of bounds it goes. It'll stay with the Hawks. And 6 left on the shot clock.
Good call. That ball was knocked loose by Ike Austin.
Ike Austin playing for Alonzo Mourning, who is on the bench with 4 fouls. 53 seconds left in the 3rd. Getting tighter as the night grows longer.
I think Mark Wunderlich was wondering if the shot clock should be recycled, but no ball hit the rim.
Blaylock has to hoist it up. All white jerseys, and Kurt Thomas claiming his 5th rebound.
Chance for the Heat to get 2 for 1 here, Eric.
Jimmy Hardaway in with Thomas. Draws 2 in the air. Comes up short. Austin lays it in.
Austin.
6 for Ike, and the Heat by 13. Tyrone Corbin, a one bouncer to Newbill. And look at Austin come out, defend Blaylock on that screen and roll. John Barry nearly coughed it up. Blaylock for three, swish.
Mookie, 2 threes in the second half.
8 points in the game for Blaylock. The Hawks down 10. The Heat get the last shot of the quarter.
Got to go. They're inside 5.
Who's going to get it? Hardaway. Will it count? No, would not have counted. The Heat do not get the last shot of the third, but they do take a 10-point lead into the fourth on opening night. Able to withstand foul trouble the morning and a slight injury to Kurt Thomas. Still maintain a 10-point lead as we turn the page to quarter 4 here at Miami Arena tomorrow night. Game number 2 of the new season at Indiana against the Pacers. The pregame tips off at 7. The opening tip at 7:30. Hope you'll be with us right here on Sunshine Network. Reed, Ramsey, Lamont, and our Sunshine Gang from the arena tonight. Here's your game summary brought to you by your Chevrolet dealers. Leitner leading the way with 25. Zoe has 23. The Hawks, very solid free throw shooting, and they outscored the Heat in the third quarter, Jack, 27-23.
Yes, if there is a trend in this game, I think the Hawks have a little edge going for them right now, Eric. They're shooting the ball better. The Heat not shooting it as well as they did in the first half. So defense is going to be high priority, and again, offensive execution.
And the Heat start with Isaac Austin at center. He follows his own miss. Leitner able to keep it in. Christian Leitner trying to lead the Hawks to an opening night road win. They trail by 10 as the fourth quarter unfolds. John Barry starting the fourth for Steve Smith, who's on the bench with 17. Thomas digging in against Leitner, who ducks in, and Thomas picks up a foul, his fourth of the game. He'd get their first fourth quarter foul, and Christian Leitner putting on a clinic offensively tonight.
Yes, Leitner has so many moves. If he spins and shoots like right here, usually he'll take that jumper, and he's very accurate with it. If he gets the defender out of position, he'll step under and draw contact and get himself to the free throw line, where he is also very strong.
Gary Grant is in. Tim Hardaway is out. And Christian Leitner is now 9 of 9 at the stripe en route to his 27 points. The Hawks are down 8. Askins for 2. A deep corner 2 for Keith Askins, who is proving that he didn't need the preseason to be ready.
Yes, Corbin giving Keith a little room there. You have to play up on Keith Askins.
Heat bench has outscored the Hawk bench 14-1 tonight. John Barry finds Corbin for an open triple. And Marley runs it down with a Heat leading by 10. Marley was on the end line out of bounds.
That was well executed defense by the Miami Heat. Put pressure on the ball, chased it all around the edges, got the rebound, but Marley just touching that baseline with his foot.
Fresh 24 for Atlanta. Hawks back at home tomorrow night. They will take on the Detroit Pistons. And then they head west. Give and go for Leitner. He is fouled by Ike Austin. So Christian Leitner, the beneficiary of a whistle in his favor. Austin's third, the Heat's second. And Leitner will go to the free throw line for a pair. No, the Hawks will simply inbound from side court, not in the act of shooting. Kenny Norman is in. Tyrone Corbin goes to Atlanta's bench.
Kenny Norman, another pretty good post player.
Oh. Grant fell down. Blaylock left free. The Heat able to clear the rebound. So Miami still holds on to its 10-point lead. Grant whips it for Marley, who lost the handle out of bounds. And the Hawks will get it back. So the Heat have sort of hit a stale moment or two in this game. Grant trying to cut Blaylock off. Does not.
Big rebound, Ike Austin.
Ike Austin up the ladder tall for the rebound. He has 6 boards on opening night. And the foul in the backcourt on Ivano Newbill, who played a little bit for Detroit 2 years ago. Played for Grand Rapids in the CBA last season.
They like his work ethic, do the Atlanta coaches. Not a good shooter from the field, and 18% from the free throw line in preseason games.
Closest the Hawks have been here in the second half, 8 points. Marley gets in and is rejected by Newbill. Under 10 minutes left. The Heat lead by 10. John Barry finds Newbill on the up fake. He draws a foul on Ike Austin.
That's a good foul to take, Eric. This guy, every free throw is an adventure for this young guy.
4th on Austin, 3rd on the Heat here in the first 2.5 minutes of the 4th quarter. Marley and Thomas go to the Heat bench. And back for Miami, Danilovic and Mourning. So Mourning brings his 4 fouls and 23 points back into the game with 9:49 to go. Ivano Newbill able to hit the first for his first point of the game. Steve Smith returns for Atlanta. Mookie Blaylock goes off. Blaylock with 8 points tonight on 3 of 14 from the field.
Well, Newbill, despite his woes during the preseason, made that one quite well and makes a second.
Well, the Hawks, Jack, 24 of 28 at the foul line here on opening night. They have cut the Heat lead down to 9. Heat needs some offense right now. Ike Austin operating against Christian Laettner. Barry on the reach in for the steal. And pushed out of bounds by Isaac Austin, who very quickly has got himself in a heap of foul trouble with 5.
And careless with the ball, Eric. When the defenders are lurking in your area, you don't want to put it on the floor. Take a look at it. Here comes John Barry. As soon as John Barry made that move, Ike Austin should have fired the ball out to the player Barry was defending. That was Grant.
And like a lot of the games we will bring to you this year, this one likely to come right down to the wire between 2 evenly matched clubs here in the East. John Barry heavy on the long distance jumper, and Isaac Austin doing a rock solid job on the boards. He has 8 rebounds for Miami. Just over 9 minutes to go. The Heat by 8. Gary Grant had it deflected, stolen by Laettner, and the Heat offense hitting the skids. Barry on the pull-up. Book it. John Barry with his first points of the night, and the Hawks the closest they have been since the early moments of this game.
Heat needs some offense. Need it from the edges.
Isaac Austin.
He walked.
And that is the call. The Hawks on a 9-2 run. So Pat Riley answers with P.J. Brown and Tim Hardaway. Isaac Austin will come out, as will Gary Grant. Austin leaves the game 6 points and officially 7 rebounds for Ike.
The coach getting some offensive players back on the floor, both Hardaway and P.J. Brown and Mourning.
8.5 minutes to go in a game that is suddenly up for grabs. Hawks on a 9-2 run. Kenny Norman hoists one up. And it ricochets out to Askins. Timmy. Lonzo Mourning, he has 23 on the night. Turns baseline, and it popped out. And Dikembe holds on to rebound number 12. Laettner for 3. And the Hawks have cut a 16-point lead down to 3. They can feel it in Atlanta. They call a timeout here in Miami for the Heat.
Three that time remaining. Let's watch this play. 2 things wrong with this. P.J. Brown is too deep on this play. And when the ball comes back to Laettner, Alonzo Mourning doesn't get out in his face. Christian Laettner is having a huge game and buries that 3.
That was your playback brought to you by Discover Card. Christian Laettner, whose season high last year was 29. He already has 30 in this one tonight, nearing his career high, set 92 against the Celtics when Laettner had 35 for Minnesota. The Hawks on a 12-2 run. They get within 3. And Laettner commits a silly foul with 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yes, those kinds of things, you're always glad when they happen to your team. 3 seconds and not a good shot in the offing, and the defender commits a foul. So the Heat have a new 24. But they've got to get something going, Eric.
Heat
offense have been pretty stagnant.
Have to rediscover the touch that took them to a 16-point lead late in the second quarter. Hardaway guarded by Steve Smith.
He can beat him.
Got right past him. Smith reached out. Ball popped out. Steve Smith hit with his 4th. The Hawks pick up their 4th team foul. And Hardaway will shoot twice.
This is a good call by Coach Riley. Isolate the floor. Let Tim Hardaway go against Steve Smith. He almost got the field goal to go with the foul.
This is the closest the Hawks have been since it was a 7-4 game early in the first quarter. Tim Hardaway, rock solid, 10 assists to go with 16 points as Mookie Blaylock checks in and John Barry goes to the bench.
Now, as soon as Coach Riley gets Dan Marley back on the floor, he will have probably his most effective lineup. P.J. Brown, Mourning, Hardaway, Danilovic.
He'd have made 11 of their 13 foul shots tonight. Every point counts as we come down the stretch here in the season opener. Laettner again setting up the defense with that up and under fake. Tell you what, you teach an athlete like him low post skills and it is trouble for the opposition. P.J. Brown hit with his 5th foul.
Well, Christian Laettner, very well schooled at Duke by Mike Krzyzewski. He's having a magnificent night here. He's kept the Hawks in this game right from the start.
Has he ever? 10 of 10 at the foul line, 10 of 13 from the field. No wonder Christian Laettner's smiling. Freed from Minnesota and thriving right now with Atlanta. And that's his first missed foul shot claimed by Alonzo Mourning. Laettner has 31. The Heat lead by 4. Just under 7 minutes left. You knew this one was bound to turn into a dogfight. Hardaway against Norman with a shot clock winding down. Hardaway gets where he wants, finds Sasha for 3. No. P.J. Brown. He had the offensive board, but only for an instant. Off the foot of Norman. Mookie Blaylock knew he threw a bad one.
Yes, not a good pass. A bouncer right at the shoes. Good execution by the Heat. Good penetration by Hardaway. A nice open look by Sasha, but it just didn't go for them.
Atlanta with just 5 turnovers in the second half. Well, the roller coaster ride of the NBA season has begun here on opening night in Miami. Shot clock at 10. Not much happening for the Heat on the offensive end. Zoe sets the screen. Back it comes. Gotta hurry. And they don't get one off. And Pat Riley becoming increasingly frustrated with his team's offensive problems here in the fourth quarter.
Here comes Dan Marley now. Keith Askins had to shoot that ball.
O'Keefe goes to the bench, playing 15 minutes here on opening night. 5 points, a couple of rebounds. Halfway to go in this fourth quarter.
Lenny Wilkins going to try and get to Laettner as often as he can.
Why not? 31 for Christian Laettner. Looking for more against P.J. Brown. Came up short. Mutombo going up. Rejected by Alonzo Mourning. And that's a 24-second violation.
Yes, because Mutombo's ball never hit the rim.
That's a big-time block.
This is great defense on the part of the Heat. Look at Tim Hardaway in there scrambling. And that was Alonzo Mourning getting a piece of that, showing Mutombo that he can block him too.
And the home crowd chiming in with 5.5 minutes to go. Heat lead by 4 despite their offensive struggles here in the fourth. Dan Marley down the lane and stripped by Blaylock. Here comes Mookie. Kenny Norman wanted a 3. Good defense by Brown.
Got to watch Steve Smith. He can pull up and fire threes when you least expect it.
And he's got that look in his eye. Leitner, he hit a three moments ago. Mourning battling. Out it comes to Danilovic. So the Heat hold on to a 4-point lead. We're under 5 minutes left. E.J. Brown. Hardaway down the lane. Out to Zoe. Zoe gets it back. Still battling. Danilovic. Hardaway for three. You betcha!
Oh, that's some ball movement on the part of the Heat. And Tim Hardaway, let's go out and play is what he said. Don't worry about the offense. Let's just play. The shots will go. He knocked it down when he had to.
Tim Hardaway with 20 points and 10 assists here on opening night. So what was a 4-point lead, now 7. Can Blaylock answer back? Not that time. P.J. Brown with the board.
Chance to run for the Heat.
Tim Hardaway comes baseline and is bumped by Blaylock. Tim Hardaway getting a lot of good things done here tonight.
Hardaway's been in full control, Eric. He's penetrated, drawn the defense. Let's take a look at this one. Hardaway, baseline drive. Where are you, defenders? There's the open man.
That foul on Mookie Blaylock is second, the 4th on Atlanta. One more, the Heat will be in the bonus. 4 minutes to go. And the Heat holding on to a 7-point lead. Miami has never trailed in this game. Here's Timmy. Mutombo couldn't hold on, so fell down and was tripped up by Dikembe Mutombo. Doesn't like the call, but it will be his 3rd and will put Atlanta over the limit and Mourning at the line.
The Hawks, who need 3-pointers now, have only hit 3 of 13. Miami has been at 500, 10 for 20. Let's watch this play. The pursuit by Mourning, not really a trip, but Zoe fell over Mutombo's foot and gets the benefit of the call.
An inadvertent trip.
Very good, Eric.
Zoe knew he shot that one a little heavy. Earlier tonight, Mutombo, talking about his former college teammate Mourning, said, I owe Alonzo my career. He made me a better player at Georgetown. Mutombo, of course, coming over from Africa, a raw, unpolished talent. Imagine those two guys on the same Georgetown team.
And what two great people, Eric, these two guys. Mutombo is simply a delight.
Now, Mourning has outscored Mutombo tonight 24-9, but Mutombo has 14 rebounds. And that is a travel on Kenny Norman. Turnover number 22 on Atlanta. And Miami gets it back, up 8, 3:44 left.
Great pursuit. There's going to be, let's see what happens.
Pat Riley calling his 22nd timeout here.
I thought they were going to call a foul either on Norman or Mourning. They had a little bump out there, but no call. Riley will have time to get to his players.
Well, Sunshine Network offers you exciting college football Saturday, beginning with a Conference USA tilt between Cincinnati and Southern Miss at 3:30 and at 11 at night. It's the SEC matchup, the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs. Right here on Sunshine Network, a college football Saturday and an NBA Saturday night. We will come to you from Market Square Arena in Indianapolis. The Heat and the Pacers here on Sunshine Network, all getting underway with a 7 o'clock pregame. But Miami hopes to head to Market Square 1-0. 3:44 to go. They're waving the T-shirts. The Heat trying to hold on to an 8-point lead.
It would appear that Miami has stopped the bleeding, Eric. Now they can't afford to have any turnovers here, and the Hawks will turn up the intensity at the defensive end. Maybe some double teams. You see Blaylock, Smith, and Leitner, Kenny Norman, 4 guys in the backcourt. See what they come up with.
Heat holding the Hawks to 40% shooting on the night. The Heat are at 43% from the field, and Miami has hit on 10 3-point tries. A long ball, but a very positive factor. Here's PJ from mid-range. His first field goal.
Ah, that was well executed. P.J. Brown just popping out from the baseline position. His defender playing him loose. Brown knocking down the J.
10-point Miami lead, 3:10 to go. Norman, a quick triple. Yes, Kenny Norman out of the corner. His first points of the game.
Wow, 2 bumps by Laettner, no call.
And the lead is 7 for Miami. Under 3 minutes left. E.J. Brown got it in the Zoe. And Zoe had it knocked out of bounds from behind. And the Hawks will take a timeout. Well, your finish in order with just under 3 minutes left. A game the Heat have never trailed. They currently lead by 7. Heat have stemmed the Atlanta comeback tide. The lead now is 7, just under 3 minutes to go in this game. A game that Tim Hardaway has put his imprint on. 20 points, 10 assists, just 1 turnover. And you know, for every assist this year, Timmy is donating $10 to the Children's Caring Cancer Center and $10 to the American Cancer Society. In addition, Timmy will take kids from the Cancer Center to SeaWorld on March 17th, courtesy of Southwest Airlines. So giving to his teammates and to his community.
Critical possession right here, Eric. Look for Danilovic or Hardaway to be the receiver on this. It's Sasha. No, it's not.
Every possession with great meaning right here. 8 to shoot. Mourning locates the defense. Wings it out to PJ. The baseline shot is short. And the Hawks still in it, down 7.
I think Zoe had a shot he could have taken there. He had a little advantage on Mutombo.
Laettner sliding in. Cut off by Brown. Laettner has 31 points tonight. He wants it back.
Good defense by Brown.
Kenny Norman pulls up from 3-point land. Ball batted out by Mourning to Hardaway. Here comes Tim with Sasha. Back for Zoe. And knocked out of bounds, but an Atlanta foul. Well, that's the Heat at their best, triggering their offense off of their defense.
It's so critical to get those running opportunities. That ball bounded long. Norman's attempt. And Hardaway quick into fast break opportunity. Let's watch it. Here comes Timmy. Here comes Zoe. There's the foul. Zoe goes to the line for 2.
Kenny Norman picking up his second foul. 2:15 left. And Alonzo Mourning has missed 2 of his last 3 free throws.
Now Christian Laettner has had a big night, but watch how P.J. Brown keeps his position. Laettner with his pump faking, Brown up and down vertically, and Laettner never did get the ball back.
Alonzo has 24 points. He also has 10 rebounds, and he does not get the roll on either free throw, so the door left ajar. With 2:10 left in the game, the Hawks with it, down 7.
2 minutes left in the game.
Blaylock got the step. Mourning with a reject. Oh, great help out by the center. Here comes Timmy for Sasha. Laid it in.
Big play. Big play. The stop by Mourning, the fast break, the well-executed pass, and the finish by Sasha Danilovic.
Hardaway's 11th assist, a biggie in this one. The Heat lead it 88-79. Minute 36 left. Norman on the spinner. Who's going to get it? Norman on the follow. And Smith runs down a loose ball with a fresh shot clock for Atlanta. Laettner finds Blaylock. Here's his 3. And Alonzo Mourning with his 12th rebound as the Heat inch closer to an opening night win.
We're getting close to the minute mark now. 1:08 as I speak. The Heat will use a lot of time off the 24-second clock. Try and open up something productive. Maybe a drive for Hardaway. Oh, well executed.
Oh, my, what a beautiful play from the 2 Heat guards.
A curl by Danilovic off the low post screen by Mourning. He gets the easy one.
Can you feel the Heat, Miami? An opening night performance that is about to net Miami an opening night win.
And this field goal was critical. Hardaway with the ball at the top of the circle. Sasha Danilovic coming off the low post screen, gets open on the curl and lays it in, slides it in. Another look at the same play. Danilovic has shed his man, Steve Smith, or it was Kenny Norman who got hung. and Sasha loves it.
Well, the Heat backcourt combining for back-to-back scores. Heat with a decisive run to try to save this game, and it appears they have. Sasha streaking feeds Mourning.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
26 for Zoe. The Heat cruising to an opening night win. And in the Heat family section, somebody waving a Yugoslavian flag in honor of Danilovic. Well, the Heat able to withstand the furious offensive night from Christian Laettner, who debuts for Atlanta this year with 31. Mutombo has 16 rebounds in the game, but the Heat guards have outplayed the esteemed Atlanta backcourt. Hardaway with 20 points, 12 assists, only a single turnover, and Danilovic with 14 points. Meanwhile, Steve Smith has 17 and Mookie Blaylock just 9. How many times have we seen Blaylock struggle with his shot against the Heat, Jack? Tonight, he takes 17 shots and misses 14.
Yep. It's happened to Mookie throughout his career, Eric. Tomorrow night he may make 10 for 10. But Tim Hardaway's performance, he has personally accounted for 44 points. 20 of his own and 24 through assists.
And the remarkable thing for Hardaway, these very close to his career numbers. Through his career, he averages just under 20 points, just over 9 assists. And these are the type of numbers you might expect from Timmy on most nights. He was an all-star for 3 straight years, 91, 92, and 93. He's in great shape. He's healthy and might be fit for a all-star return.
He's having he had a great training camp, Eric, and came to camp in top condition.
Beat by 13. Hardaway with a steal, as he hasn't done enough already. On this competitive, tightly packed Eastern Conference, every win takes on huge significance. And a win on opening night on your home court, sweet indeed. And Marley for 3. And Newbill with the rebound. But that will do it. Here on opening night, the Heat defense gets it done. They hold the Hawks under 40% shooting for the night. Meanwhile, the Heat bury 10 threes in 21 attempts. They get 26 points from Mourning, the 20-point, 12-assist night from Tim Hardaway. And in a game where they lead it wire to wire, they win it.
And the coach is smiling.
The 700,
well, he should, Eric.
799th career win for one Pat Riley, and his second rendition of the Heat go to 1-0 with a well-earned win on the home court here on opening night.
Of Miami Heat basketball on Sunshine Network has been brought to you by Ice Brewed Ice House. Ice brewed so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. By Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For some, recess never ends. Life's a sport. Drink it up. By Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. By the Discover Card, the card that pays you back. And by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places.
Beautiful night outside Miami Arena, even nicer inside, where the Heat used their defense to vault to an opening night win. Both teams came in proud of their defense, but Miami's efforts tonight holding the Hawks to 39% with 24 turnovers, good enough to save the Heat, who had some rough offensive moments in the fourth quarter. Eric Reed with Jack Ramsey, overall pleasing offensive night and overall night for Miami.
When we went back to the keys of the game, Eric, the Heat got all the things they needed. They defended well. They held the Hawks even on the rebounding column, and they got their fast break opportunities. They knocked it down from three-point land and got everything that they really needed. Only Christian Laettner kept the Hawks in this game.
Yeah, Laettner had 31. He was a hard man to deal with, made 10 of his 15 shots. But, Jack, a nice blend for Miami. They had the fast break going and a nice blend of inside-outside offense with 10 made threes in 21 attempts.
Yes, that's a huge factor for the Heat. And that will stand up all season, Eric. most teams will give Alonzo Mourning a lot of attention when he has the ball at the post. If you don't knock down those perimeter shots, the defense will jam in even more and more, and that would put a handicap on the Heat offense. But when you're knocking them down, the Heat keeps the defense at bay. They're a little reluctant to go down and get Alonzo Mourning so often, and Pat Riley has other post guys that he can use, all of whom can deliver. This was a nice performance tonight.
Now, speaking of Alonzo Mourning and his ability to dunk the basketball, let's show you your slam dunk of the game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite.
This is a play that starts on a fast break opportunity. Sasha Danilovic with that flip ahead, and Zoe with the stuffer.
Your Miller Lite slam dunk of the game, but the Heat defense on the Atlanta guards also influential. Smith and Blaylock combined to make just 8 of 31 shots. And the Heat's hero tonight, Timmy Hardaway, who wound up with 20 points, a dozen assists, 3 steals, and just 1 turnover. And when we come back, you will hear from Tim Hardaway in the Heat Winner's Circle on opening night.